Lead domination. I'm excited to share this one today. Thanks for joining me. You know, about 4 months ago on a webinar, I made a commitment to everybody that we were going to do one totally free webinar, all training, no sales pitch, just trying to get you guys up to speed and doing well in this unique market that we are in. And today we're going to tackle one of the biggest challenges that I can think of in my personal business, converting the darn leads into actual clients. If you're here, you know what it feels like to have those leads slip through the cracks and wonder why they aren't converting into closed deals. So today I'm going to share the strategies that have worked for my team and coaching clients all over for the last, since 2016 is when I started this. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Suneet. I'm the co-founder of the Reside platform. I own the #1 team in Sacramento. It's called the Best Sac Homes Group. I coach with John Sheplack through Sheplack Live. I own a mortgage company and several other businesses. So today I'm going to walk you through the practical steps that my team still uses to stay on top of the leads and keep follow-up simple, not complicated. And it's not BS theory. It's the stuff that I still use and coach to every single day. So whether you're new or not, you will walk away with strategies, and I'm going to give you a bunch of handouts to use that you can implement at the end of this call, totally free. You'll get all my stuff, all my manuals, and you can just get started. So the way that this came about is, before I was a realtor, I was a loan officer, okay? And our phone would ring off the hook from direct mail. I didn't know what a CRM was. I didn't know what follow-up was. The phone would ring, I would pick it up, I would try and take an application on that first call, and if I didn't, I would probably never talk to that client ever again. Somehow, probably due to the great real estate, the refinance boom at the time, I was able to be successful. When that ended, from the market crash, I became a realtor. And I was broke. I lost everything. So I borrowed $400 from one of my buddies and spent it on leads, right? And I had no money. It had to work. I spent all the time on Facebook groups. Shout out to Lab Coat Agents. I got a coach. I called everybody who would talk to me and put together a system that led us to where we are today, okay? So, does this sound like you? You log into the CRM when you have time because you're busy and see a bunch of stuff not happening with the leads, stuff that you talked about. No one's calling them enough. No one is doing anything, and you're wondering what the heck is going on, right? For me, it would make me super grumpy and it would ruin my whole day. I didn't want to be that guy anymore. I wanted to figure out something scalable, because the fact is, your most productive agents are too busy to effectively manage their database. Your non-productive agents don't even log in. You might have expectations, but are they clear? Are they documented? Or is it just stuff that you bring up in a lot of meetings to your team? More facts. My best producing ISAs are also slammed with new inbound opportunities. And even your best ISA will go for the low-hanging fruit first. The best bots and automation still require a human touch. You can't depend on the automation because balls will be dropped. It's a massive challenge to expect anybody will effectively nurture long-term leads, which is where the magic is. I looked in my database this week, and almost 50% of Zillow leads and Realtor.com leads are in nurture. That's scary. PPC and Facebook are way higher. Task-based follow-up is a challenge for all of us, okay? So you need a shareable system that is scalable and easy to train to. By the end of the day, you're going to see what I get, and I'm going to give you a copy and you can implement. Let's get the basics out of the way. We're going to talk real quick about lead types, lead sources, and tools of the trade. There's two main kinds of lead types in residential real estate: buyer leads and seller leads, right? We're starting at the very basics. Your buyer leads fall into two buckets. Property specific. They go to a website and click a button to see a specific home. Very high intent. General. They go into Google and say, buy a home in Sacramento. Less intent. Subtle leads. Somebody calls you and says, hey, I'd like you to sell my house. Those are the Glengarry leads, right? We all wish we had more of those. The other ones is, hey, seeking information, thinking about selling my house, wondering what my house is worth. That's more low intent. These are the lead sources that we use. Zillow and Realtor.com. You got referral sources, OpCity, Zillow Flex, HomeLight, PPC. We get our PPC from Ylopo. We run it ourselves and Sierra. I just always test to see what's doing the best. Facebook. Facebook is really low intent. We generate Facebook leads for less than $3 a piece. The conversion on them is equally very, very low. It's interruption-based marketing. Someone's going through Facebook to look at pictures of what their friends ate for lunch and whatever else you guys are looking at, and you see an ad for something and you click on it. Sure, that works if you want to buy like a pair of shoes or a backpack or something, but not for a house. Direct mail, right? We send direct mail. Whenever somebody calls, it goes straight into our database. Same with open house flyers, same with any kind of traditional marketing that we do. Advertising leads, call capture from open house and just listed signs, pens, all that. Others, Craigslist. You know, we still run every listing we have on Craigslist, still to this day. Facebook Marketplace, we still put all our listings that we can on Facebook Marketplace. It's been a little bit harder to get them up these days, but we're still trying. Okay, tools of the trade. Number one, I hope if you're here, you have a CRM. Tracks your leads, analyze them, stores information, helps you nurture. Landing pages. I hope you have landing page software. There is so much. This is just a way to capture more people by giving them some sort of data. For example, we do seller guides, we do home buyer guides. In a landing page, you have to trade your information to get access. I hope you have an IDX site. I'm pretty sure that every brokerage out there, any of the bigger ones at least, and every team has an IDX website where you can display the MLS listings and do the saved searches. Texting software. Texting software changed my life in 2018. We still use Call Action. Another great one that many clients use is Texting Betty. Email software. We use Follow Up Boss. For our bigger emails, which we're going to talk about further in the content, we use MailChimp, and I'm going to show you how. If there's any questions, Aaron, please save them till the end. We'll do a Q&A. Every time something pops up, I get super distracted and I get squirreled really easy. So please save your questions till the end. Okay, guys? Next, our lead management protocol. Lead comes in. It gets routed to an agent. Here are the standards that I learned, and I learned this from Michael Hellickson. The lead comes in, three calls and 3 texts per day for the first 3 days. If you still can't reach the person, 3 calls, 3 texts, 3 times a week for the next 3 weeks, then 3 times a month for the next 3 months, and then once a month forever. Buy or die. The basics are to call the heck out of the lead, right? Double dial, triple dial. You know, the lead don't answer, call it again. Lead don't answer, call it again, right? A lot of people use the term 10 days of pain too. Great. Whether it's 10 days of pain or this 3x3, 3x3 is what I learned first and we still stick to. Choose one, just make sure, choose both. Just make sure that you have something set out. I like 3x3. Lead routing. In almost all of your CRMs, you are able to lead route based on specializations. The specializations that I really love, and this is redundant on here, geography and geography. Number one, geography. I don't want to send a lead to somebody who is an hour away. You can create those geographic pods in most CRMs. Skill level. I'm not going to give a super hot lead to a brand new agent. I'm just not. I'm not going to give a high priced luxury agent to somebody who has not closed any luxury properties yet. Okay? And then finally, conversion level. Okay, that takes more nuances, but if you stick to geography and skill level, you'll be way far ahead of everybody. Okay, this is what I just said, right? If a lead for a piece of land comes in, it should go to someone experienced in handling land deals. In Sacramento, probably a lot of your cities, if you have big enough lead spend, you get all kinds of low budget stuff that you still want to try and work. But if you send a land lead to your luxury person, like, they're not going to be motivated, right? If a luxury lead comes in an hour away, like I have one of my agents on, I just saw, he really knows some of the nicer areas a little bit further away from Sacramento. I'm going to send him those leads as well as anything here that works for him, but I'm not going to send those leads to somebody who doesn't know. Okay, so it's important to find out both through conversations with your team and by the results of your team to see who is adept at what. Okay, now when a new agent joins your team or brokerage, this strategy ensures that you don't burn a bunch of leads. If you've been in the lead game for any amount of time, burning leads is a horrible feeling, okay? This guy got 40 leads and didn't do anything right. How did we miss that? Oh, I was busy with my own listings. I was busy trying to recruit. I get it. Use this strategy. It changed my onboarding for newly licensed agents and experienced agents that have joined my organizations. 5-5-10. When an agent gets approved to get turned on leads by completing our onboarding, we route them 5 new leads. After they've got those 5 leads, I want you guys to implement this. This is so important. After you've given them those 5 new leads, schedule a one-on-one and go through every one of the leads. If they did a good job, give them 5 more and do the same process. Meet them, talk it through, and do the same process. Number 3, after that's done, give them 10. Now they've got 20 leads. So look, are they doing all the metrics right? Are they staging the lead right? Are they converting? Are they setting appointments? Are they meeting the appointments? Are they showing the people to more than one house on the first time? Okay, so this strategy works really, really well. Now let's get into the 4 biggest things I want you to take away from today's call. All right. Number 1, you must have a manual. I'm going to give you mine. Use mine for inspiration. Okay. You need to have all the stages written out that you use and follow-up rules and CRM rules around every stage. Same with tags. Trust me, you do not want to have the Wild West of tags. When I look in my system, before I have the rules on tags, there's like 40 spellings for every single thing. Open house with a space, open house with an asterisk, open house with an underscore. It goes on and on and on. Okay, follow up requirements. When should you be reaching back out to this lead? Okay, you list it out in your manual, and then you must make sure that it's happening. But when I go in and do an audit in the CRM, or when one of my staff does, if somebody has not followed the manual, it's really easy for me to copy and paste the link of the manual and say, hey, go look on page 4. This did not meet this, and this. Do you need more coaching on this? Are there any more questions? Use a manual, okay? Instead of just having stuff that you say in the meetings, right? Define the clear stages. We use the Zillow stages as part of Zillow Flex. It's new lead, spoke with lead, appointment set, met with lead, showing homes, submitting offers, and closed. And nurture. That really makes a lot of sense. I'm not a fan of hot, warm, cold. I try to use it. Everybody has a different definition around hot, warm, cold. Hot to me is somebody that you're out writing paper for. Hot to one of your agents might mean, They had a really good conversation and the person was talking about buying, right? If you use these milestone-based stages that Zillow created, it's going to get so much clearer for everybody in the organization. The only thing I would change from the Zillow stages, if you decide to, is do nurture 0 to 3 months, nurture 3 to 6 months, and nurture 6 months or longer for your stages, okay? Rules on tags. Any information for the tags needs to be listed out in your manual and use things that you can go back and filter. First time buyer, that person gets certain kind of messaging. High budget, that person gets certain kind of messaging. So be very clear on what tags you're using, and it allows you to filter for targeted follow-up, okay? Once again, in the manual, establish the standard follow-up timelines and methods, define the response expectations from the different stages, and gives your team clear guidelines on the nurture. We're going to talk about the nurture a lot today. When an agent gets a new lead, what are you checking? In most CRMs, it tells you the average amount of attempts that they made on that lead, how quick the lead came into the action, okay, and the conversion. I have a VA pull the response time and the amount of attempts several times per day to make sure that everybody is getting back to the leads as fast as possible. Okay? Then once a week, I have a specific meeting with the agents on leads to go over these metrics and look for coachable moments to increase the conversion by following KPIs and making sure everyone's doing everything. Okay, so you can get one of the manuals here. So if you want to take a picture of that and come back to it, everyone on is going to get these slides anyway. So if you don't want to take a picture and just wait till you get it, go ahead. However, the real good stuff, I'm going to email you at the end. Number 2, let me tell you what happened. It was 2019 and we were doing great, right? It was before COVID, and conversion wasn't where I wanted to be. My team had finally got to about 50 agents at the time. So we had a bunch of leads, a bunch of opportunities, but the conversion wasn't happening. 2019 started out kind of a slower year, right? And I remember I was standing back at my pasture and I said, how do I get conversion higher? One, without spending a bunch of money. Okay? And number 2, without implementing more training on my hardworking agents who are already inundated with so much stuff. What are things that I, as a leader, as a CEO of a real estate company, can do on a macro level across the whole team that'll turn the knobs on conversion, right? Like John Sheplack says, tiny hinges swing big doors. Can any of these processes increase conversion by 0.5%, by 1%, without costing me a lot of money? This is what I came up with, and we're still doing it today, and it worked. So, activate a bunch of VAs into your database. We call them VA ISAs. For me, they're less salespeople. They're more customer service for inbound calls. As a matter of fact, most of mine come from Walmart online customer service call centers. They've been beat up. They got people yelling at them about a broken toaster that they bought from Walmart. Okay? So they know customer service. All of mine are in the Philippines. However, wherever you want them to be is fine. We've used Mexico. We're using some in South America. But it has to be customer service centric. If you do have ISAs, my VAs are also there to support the ISAs. You cannot have enough. They keep an eye on every lead, and they're highly task orientated. This is what I realized is back when I first started, during the days when I was always upset about what was happening in the CRM, I would audit the CRM, audit the agent's leads, and say, where's your task? Where's your task? Where's your task? Where's your task? What I found out is a bunch of people set tasks, and a majority never checked them off. Not saying that they didn't call them, they just didn't check them off, right? And then when you give them enough crap about completing their tasks, what do? What did they do? They would go in the system, mark all the tasks at once, and say, complete, done. Mark as complete, okay, without doing the actual steps. Look at this. At the time, there was 4,900 overdue tasks. This is an older slide. Right now, it's probably like 10,000. Okay, this is for the entire agent team. Now, this is for the ISA team. Same day. 0 overdue tasks. So the VA ISAs are extremely task orientated. Unfortunately, myself too, agents aren't. And that's okay. Because we've given them rules in the manual, number 1, that tells them when to follow up. We're going to get more into that right now. Here's the functions of my VA ISA. They audit every lead assigned to an agent. They split up the agents. I have 5. You just start with 1 or 2. We have smart lists based on last update, last communication, recently active, and they look. My agents are required, if they have a team lead, to follow up on a cadence inside of the manual. The VA ISAs ensure that that process happens. Okay? They look at the automated stuff. If an automation comes through and starts talking to a lead, and then your hardworking great agent is at a showing, and then they don't get back to the lead for hours, it doesn't seem sincere. Why not have a VA ISA be there to support the agent, nurture that conversation, and set the appointment for the agent to call them back, acting as an assistant? Somebody goes back to the website a lot, they check that. Somebody presses a button to see a house, they check that and act as an assistant for the agents. Then they make sure for the alerts that the agent does reach out when the time is there. Basically, they're incredible babysitters. They also are allowed to take leads away when they decide to, right? If somebody is out of the guidelines after multiple warnings, we will reassign it, right? And chances are, if your hardworking agent isn't following up with a lead that they need to, it might not be good anyways. They might not be high intent, super low long-term nurture. VA ISA is going to do a better job at long-term nurturing your leads than anybody on your team. They also update the portals. For example, the last portal that we have that requires updating is Ojo and Homelight. So they do what we call swivel chair integration, where they go from follow-up boss to the portal to get it updated. You know, it first started for us in Zillow Flex, but now there's an API, so that's done on itself. Okay? Turn on and manage the text strips. Like we just said, any kind of reply, make sure that the lead is being worked. We have hundreds of text strips inside of our system, and we're using Ylopo's Rhea. We want to make sure that they have the right drips at the right time for the right type of lead based on their stage and their recency on the website, all the stuff that's so important. They're the CRM ninjas. They're the CRM babysitters and the ninjas. They manage that the METs are being nurtured to the cadence, which will come up in one of these other slides, and the non-METs get reassigned to the lead if it goes cold. Okay? Nurturing the MET. So let's get into some statistics. Don't worry, it's simple. I'm not good at math. The statistic that we've all heard for years. 70% of consumers work with the first agent that they meet. You guys have all heard that, right? Many agents are too busy to follow up, are distracted, myself included. Along with the 70% of consumers who want to work with the first agent that they meet, I'm going to assume, and I've said this 1,000 times by now, I'm sure, that the majority of your leads that come in online are not committed to a specific agent, or they would reach out to that agent instead of going online. By majority, I'm only saying over 50%, 51%. Right? Whatever that is, I'm going to make that assumption because they're online pressing buttons that they don't have an agent they can call just off speed dial. Okay? The VA ISA will remind the agent to follow up, and if there's no follow up from the agent, they're going to reach out as the admin. This is what this looks like. So, on most of my met stages, meaning stages after the lead has been met, I want the lead to be updated once a week. So on day 5, the VA ISA asks the agent for an update. On day 6, the VA ISA asks the agent for an update. And on day 7, the VA ISA asks for an update. If there's no update, they're going to reach out as the assistant, right? So you see day 5, 6, and 7. Then the next week, day 12, 13, 14, you see through day 21. And after 1 month, if there has been no response from the agent, well, number 1, we're going to reassign it after 1 month. And number 2, if there's no response from the consumer, we're going to change that met stage into a nurture stage, and then the VA ISA will manage the nurture. We know they're task orientated. This is their job. They're the ninja, they're the babysitter, they're focused on the consumer. Here's another download that you can get for the follow-up. Go ahead and hit this link or wait until we're done, and when I send it to you, and you can check out what I'm talking about here. Okay, so how do we nurture the leads? Because we have to determine the nurture that's the top of funnel and the nurture that's the bottom of the funnel. Okay, top of funnel might not be ready to transact. Somebody who just clicked a website, came into the system, and you say, hey, yeah, I'm just looking. I'm going to move in about 2 years. You should follow up, yes, but that's different follow-up than somebody who's a nurture, bottom of the funnel. They've already been, they've come in as a met. Maybe you've even shown them some homes, but now they have to nurture because maybe they're not finding anything. Maybe they're going on vacation. You have to make that determination, okay? Because the bottom of the funnel requires more personalized stuff. There's already a relationship built there. This is the stuff that drives me completely crazy as far as what to say. Don't use when you're nurturing a lead. Have you seen any homes that you want to see online? If you've ever said that, stop. My least favorite thing that I see salespeople, not just us in real estate, salespeople across the board say, hey, just checking in. Who do you say just checking into? Right? It's insincere. It's like, hey, I'm just following up. Don't say either of those. Come with value in the nurture. Hey, let me share my latest market update video. Hey, I found this article and you might find it useful. We use Keeping Current Matters. I think it's $20 a month. We also use a magical website called Google. And you go into Google and you set up news alerts for Sacramento real estate news. Right? Then every time there's a news article about Sacramento real estate news, Google's going to send it to your email. I did that my first week as a realtor and use it in all my nurturing. Okay? Have you seen any properties that you want to see online? No. check out this property that I just selected for you. What do you think? I come with value, not and teach this to your agents. I talk about it every week. I say, hey, what are the two things I never want people to say? All right, to continue with the nurture, we're going to get a little technical, but you guys got it. There are two kinds of emails you must send with a bonus. I am not talking about the templated email drips that run on action plans from your CRM. When was the last time that you updated the email drips in your CRM? Are you using the ones, like I said, that came with it? Right? Make them relevant. Make them something that's has more substance. This is what I'm talking about. A consumer comes to your site and usually gets routed to a random agent in your organization. So what happens for most people. How do you know if the agent drops the ball in working that lead? You're going to listen to every call? I have a VA do that. But are you going to listen to every call? What if it isn't just a good personality fit? Maybe your agent's online profile sucks. Maybe they come in and one of them smells like booze and it pisses the other person off. What if it comes in and I know it was just the election the other day. What if some person comes in with an election with one candidate shirt and one person has another feeling? Like people's emotions and personalities are going to get in the way and you don't know if the lead you assign to the agent is a good fit for the personality. Is the agent, the person on your team will not update the notes necessarily about a personality fit. Okay? Next, I want every consumer that comes into my system to know that they're working with the #1 damn team in the city. I don't know if I can expect the agent to say that every time when they're trying to say everything else. I want the consumer to be tied more to the brand as well. To know that they're working with the #1, to know about everything that we offer on the team. Because that first meeting is where the magic happens. Can you make sure that your team agents are covering everything that you want them to do at that meeting? Your other option, and I thought of them all standing in my backyard that day, was to have everybody wear body cams with earpieces. So it's like a Call of Duty game. And you're okay, turn left, say this, turn right, say this. I went so far, and I even looked at body cams online. They're $100. I could even get it within 9 hours. Doesn't seem feasible. So what do? Standing in my backyard that day, my back pasture, really wanting to close more deals, needing to, I came up with this idea. And we call it the warm and fuzzy email drip. This has been an absolute game changer for me and others that have implemented it. It is email messages and messaging period from me. It builds authority for the brand with the consumer. It's management level customer service. Have you ever been somewhere and not gotten something that you wanted and said, let me talk to the manager? It ensures the consistent, correct messaging. It checks in on the agent's performance and personality match. It makes sure to cover the unique sales propositions that my team uses. One that we love, and I'll tell you right now that you should use in your business, especially with buyers, is the Love It or Leave It program. Is that for any reason you have to move within 18 months, we will sell your house for free, no listing agent commission. I've sold thousands of houses, folks. I've only had to do this twice since 2016. Next, send affiliates. I want people using the right mortgage company, mine. I want people using the right inspection company, the one that I have an MSA with. right? This is the one opportunity that you have as a leader to make sure that the consumers in your CRM meeting and talking to your agents are getting given the information that you want to have them. Here are some examples. You guys are going to freak out. People always do. Okay. I'm going to start with number 2. Number 1, for high intent leads that come to you that maybe you don't want to work, like if somebody texts me to sell their house now, I send the number 1 text. However, let's talk about the rest of the examples. Number 2, congrats on setting an appointment with my agent, Tom. Did you know we're the best in town? Here's a video, here's a copy of our VIP buyer guide. Next, how did the showing go with our agent, Tom? Do you want to continue working with him, or do you think another agent on my team might be a better fit? Yes. It's the team's lead. I want to make sure they're in good hands. There are personality issues, think people can be late. You will never know. Also, here's a video on getting pre-approved with our lenders. And here are some great reviews we've curated. Next, congrats on writing an offer. Here's a great video on winning offers in this wild market. Sorry you didn't offer get accepted. Here's a video what we find will help next. Congrats on getting into escrow. Our TC staff will be reaching out to you. And once closed, we'll follow up. And here's a bunch of reviews. And by the way, leave us some as well. Here's one. How did the appointment go with Chris? We're so happy that he picked us with your home purchase, right? We could always help show a home. The viewing went well. I'm interested in purchasing a home through your company. I'll connect with the lenders that I sent them. That's in the bottom of this email. Chris closed this deal. Great job, Chris, if you're on. Right? This is another one that we sent with the copy, right? How did the appointment go with Veronica? Veronica also closed summer here, right? Send them back an email. I want to personally make sure that your experience with us I want to personally make sure that your experience with us so far is perfect. If it hasn't been, or if you have any feedback, let us know. Right? This one was interesting because David wasn't one of our preferred lenders. So I was able to catch that and correct it in the coaching moment. How did the appointment go with New? She's amazing. Right? There's so many things that drip does. You're going to see it you're going to see the examples. Use something like that. The way that it fires off is we use Follow Up Boss, and whenever a stage is changed, we have an email for each stage. It automatically sends the email. Super easy. If somebody replies to that, it comes directly to my personal email, and I'll engage and do whatever I need to do to keep the deal. People say, hey, Suneet, what does your team think of that? The terrific agents on my team, which I'm so lucky to have so many, they love it. The ones that aren't quite so good at conversion, they get worried. However, it's because they get bad feedback and we end up reassigning that lead to somebody else who will close it. This has improved our conversion by only sending emails, folks, completely free. This has improved our conversion by sending free emails through our CRM. It keeps me more aligned. It keeps me in the consumer's face. Now, next on emails. Billboards. Is there an agent in your market that has a bunch of billboards? Well, let me tell you, I used to be that guy in Sacramento. Sacramento billboards are really friggin' expensive. It's like 20 grand a month for like a blip. So I've since taken them down. It got way too expensive over the last couple of years. So how do you have the same thing as emails without spending, the same thing as billboards without spending a bunch of money on billboards. And this is the omnipresence part, okay? I also want to do TV ads. I also want to be on bus benches. I also want to do way more radio. I want people to hear my voice. I want to be omnipresent. I want to be everywhere. But I'm not going to spend that money. So the first part of this is we send 3 newsletters a week. Guess what the newsletter is not about? Real estate. The newsletter is about what's happening in Sacramento. We're getting over 60% opens 3 times a week. I'm going to show you some examples. The other, we're using MailChimp, direct integration in a Follow Up Boss, super easy to set up. You just go into Follow Up Boss integrations, put the API. Anyone at Follow Up Boss can help you do that if you use it. Your CRM may have the capabilities. I'm talking about Follow Up Boss because that's what I have. 3 times a week. Okay, very little about real estate. 90% written by AI. Just good old Chat GPT. We do local events, local site tours, client testimonials. I do a market update every month. Recipes, what else? We have everything in there. I'm gonna share the link, right? When we have events, I have people show up to the things off the newsletter. Oh my God, I love your newsletter so much. I'm like, great, who was the agent that you worked with? Well, I haven't bought a house yet. I haven't sold my house yet. I just love your newsletter. You keep me informed on what's happening in Sacramento. That's what I want. We also put some Amazon affiliate codes in there. So I'm able to make a couple bucks. If we have an article about spring cleaning, and then we put our 5 favorite spring cleaning products linked to Amazon, I'll make 30 bucks off sending a newsletter. Why not? Right? Super simple. Here's an example of a market update this month. Here's an example of a story that we do about modern design. Here's an example of a testimonial that we add from Google. You can see this open rate, 52%, right? We have a link to our home search site. Excuse me, our selling site, a link to our home search site, another selling site, my mortgage company, my property management company, right? We're tracking all this, guys. It's incredible, right? We look, there's some people's phone numbers in there. We look at the people who open the emails, any email, our newsletter, more than 2 times. If somebody opens your email more than 2 times, you think they're engaged? How about the people that open it 5 times? Your salespeople should call that lead just to check in, right? You're ranking the leads based on engagement and hitting and talking, following up with the ones with the most engagement. Not hard to do in MailChimp. You just go to the report, filter by number of opens, filter by the audience ranking. It's 5 stars, 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars, and just a number for the amount of opens, and engage with those people. Next, retargeting ads. Instead of billboards on the city, what if you could have billboards on your database? And when you have billboards in the city, it's everybody who might be interested in real estate. When you have billboards on your database through retargeting ads, you're hitting people who have already engaged with your brand and are in your system. Okay, and we spend $7 a day on it. Here's the principle. Somebody goes to a portal, presses a button. Then the next thing that they do is they go to Instagram to see what their neighbor had for lunch. I want them to see my face as soon as they go to Instagram. I want them to see my face every day. I've said this on stage a bunch of times and people laugh at me for it, but I'll say it here again. I want the consumers to choke on my face, to see me so much that they associate me with real estate. In retargeting ads, I'm not talking about sending them more pictures of homes. That intends to keep them on their website. Going to your website probably isn't as easy as typing in Zillow.com or Realtor.com. But when they go back to social media, they're going to see my face, see my brand. When they open their email, they're going to see my face, see my brand. Right? Stay top of mind at a low cost of people who are already engaging in real estate. $1,500 a month. $1,500 a month is not what we spend anymore. It's $7 per day. So what? 7 times 30? Is that 210? 210 bucks per month. With pictures of the team. I'm going to show you some examples, pictures of my face. Right? Testimonials too. Here are testimonials from real clients. Shot with a cell phone. Both of these videos went bonkers on the ads. The amount of watch time was through the roof. Here's when I had a bunch of billboards. This is what I did, guys, is I took videos. We used to change our billboard every month to keep it like Sacramento local vibe. So we have a bunch of videos of all the different months. Now I run ads of my billboards and me standing in front of my billboards taken, I don't know, a year ago. People that I see say, hey, I see your billboards all over town. We haven't had them up in forever. They're just seeing my Facebook ads with my billboards. You could have some AI or a graphic person make a fake billboard and start doing ads. Right? Want to sell your home fast. Secrets of home buying. Top question about selling your homes this winter. Right? Sellers, homeowners. Market update.
Are you trying to figure out what your home?
What's my home worth? Market update. What's going on in the Sacramento? Market update. We also do static post type ads. Right? I want them to choke on my face. Omnipresence. Be everywhere all the time. People cannot escape you and your brand. Different videos about different neighborhoods.
If you're looking at places to live in Sacramento.
Right? Local places. This video got, I feel like, hundreds of thousands of views about Fanny Ann's in Sacramento.
Where are some of the best places to hang out in old Sacramento?
Now, the next thing. Arm your agents with what they need to succeed. What do you mean, Suneet? Create a VIP buyer guide. I can send you mine. I don't think it's linked in here, but if you want it, just shoot me a DM or a message and I'll send it to you. Appointment checklist. What should your team do prior to the appointment, during the appointment, and after the appointment? Templated buyer presentation and listing presentation. Right? Look at McDonald's. They templated how to do everything from make the burger, make the fries, right? It's a process. Make your appointment a process. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here's the appointment checklist. So everything is consistent and it doesn't matter which agent on your team they meet, they're going to get the same kind of experience. It allows our team to be prepared. I remember when I would get an appointment, my first year, I would show up to the house, pull the house up on Zillow, try to remember everything. Right? Does that sound like anyone you know? Try to memorize what year the school was built? No, I want a checklist. Right? When you're well organized, the consumer can tell. When you're frantic, the consumer can tell, unless you're a really good faker. VIP buyer guide. It shows buyers what makes your team unique. It's going to guide your clients through the home buying process with clarity and confidence. I'm going to tell you, we just made major edits to it after the NAR settlement, right? Because there was a lot of hesitation. Initially, we thought there was going to be way more hesitation from both the agent and the buyer. So we want to put all the information in there to create confidence for the buyer, right? It makes you look like a pro. Instead of pulling up Zillow on your phone to give them what the data is, right? It introduces you as the team leader, introduces your team with a great bio, shows more testimonials, shows tips, and we also have our USPs in it. Okay, buyer presentation. I got this from my growth advisor at Zillow. With a lot of leads in this consumer market, they're used to the Amazon. They're used to pressing a button and getting what they want. Right? I order DoorDash quite often. I order Instacart. I don't have to talk to anybody. We do kitchen island presentations. We get to the appointment, we meet the consumer at the house. Okay, if you have a different style, fine. This is what works. Before I did this, and I would try to go for pre-qualification, or I would try to go for meet at the office, my conversion was less. Facts. I started meeting people at the house and became the top team in my city for going on 5 years. Okay? We want the agent to know what the presentation is. We talked about McDonald's, right? Think about that with your team. Practice it. We have practices at vacant listings. Come in and do the kitchen island presentation. Come do a walkthrough. Like, you can do that if you don't have any active listings. Have it at your house. If you don't have a house, have it at your office. Right? Practice it with your team to achieve excellence and mastery. The conversion is important. Right? Once again, this is free. Because that first showing is magical. And unless you have a body cam, unless you have headsets, that is where you must focus your energy. After you get people on the phone setting appointments, that first appointment is magical. Do you want your first appointment conversion to be 1%? You got to go on 100 appointments to get one person that's ready to buy? Think about that. That sounds horrible. Do everything you can to make that first appointment magical. Okay? To wrap up, here's a bunch of resources, guys. Follow me on social media. Follow the Reside platform on social media. Here, hit this QR code to join my Sacramento newsletter. Look, and if you want to copy it, go right ahead. If you are not on my email list and want to be to see what I send to agents, to learn about more webinars like this, hit that second link. Now, I really hope that this helped out, and I know I went fast and we could go on for hours. Following up with leads feels like a lot. But if you have a system, use this, use the strategy. If you already have something and this isn't as good as what you use, then maybe you got something small out of it, right? But if you give the process to your team when they join and train to that process, instead of making up new stuff every other day, we're creating confidence in our team and in our clients. Remember, these strategies are very low cost, right? I think the most expensive one is $7 a day, hiring a VA for maybe $800 a month. That's it, right? Like, these will, if a VA doesn't make you at least that back on your ROI, you got the wrong VA. Fire them and get a new one. Get two, because whoever doesn't do good, you can lay them off and keep the great one. In our commitment to doing more webinars every month, we're doing another one this month. And this one has my buddy, Mr. John Cheplak. You guys might have heard of John, right? The next webinar is recruiting, training, and retaining your agents on November 21st at the same time. Okay, I'm gonna stop share. We got a few minutes for a couple questions. Any questions? Okay, Q&A. Yes, 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 and hello. Do you use an ISA versus handing out leads? Pat, great question. I do both. Okay, the ISA, I have VA ISAs on the same routing as the agents, and whoever gets the lead first gets it. Okay, what other questions are there, folks? Sharon Miranda, where do you get, we have Ethan Butte from Follow Up Boss on here. You guys look at the chat. Thanks for the session. Here's a new FUB feature that marries the nurture stage with your idea for different timelines. Where do you get your VA ISA? Sharon, you can get them anywhere. I have VAs in the Philippines and VAs in Argentina. Most of our ISAs right now are in the Philippines. Guys, check out this link from Ethan, time frame to move in the nurture stage. That's great. When did that come out, dude? It must be recent. Any more questions? How often are, good one, Brianna. How often are you refreshing, posting your retargeting ads? This is what I do, is we post content on Instagram all the time. The ones that get the most engagement, this is for my personal brand, so never mind, I misspoke. The videos with the best messaging, for example, I like in the videos to try and do mostly seller stuff. So I refresh them as the frequency goes above 4% in Facebook Ads Manager in 30 days. Okay? And if you guys want more help with Facebook ads, guess what? I'm not the guy. You know where I learned? I went to YouTube and typed in how to do Facebook ads. Retargeting for real estate. Okay, that's where I learned. I also hired a $400 a month guy from Pakistan on Upwork.com to help me do the ads. I don't think realtors, take it from me, I don't think you guys need to learn how to do Facebook ads. We have Areha, I hope I said that right. We're not getting a lot of leads. Do we still need to get an ISA? My question for you is, do you have a lot of leads in your database? I hope that nobody has to get an ISA, right? Let's be completely honest. Hopefully your team does the work. Here's this picture up still too. However, I like having an insurance policy. Right at the time, my lead spend was upwards, when I started hiring them, was upwards of 40, 50 grand a month. It's gone down now, about half. But I still have nearly 130,000 leads in my database, and the database is the gold mine, right? Any more questions, please use the Q&A, guys. All right. Raise your hand if you're excited to come on John Cheplack's here on the 21st. I am. Make sure you sign up. Here's that page again. Don't worry, we're going to email all this out to you guys along with this deck, the video, and instead of that 4 pillars book, which I don't really like, we're just going to give you the exact manual that my team uses. It's way better. Any questions? Was this helpful? Can you guys comment if this was helpful? Good, thank you. We work really hard, Jason, thank you. We work really hard at doing this stuff, and we just want to provide value. Vincent, you want to start building a small team? Dude, reach out to me. My email is Suneet at resideplatform.com, SUNEET at resideplatform.com. Thank you, Helena. Thank you, Mark. Like I said, we work hard, so we want to, especially me, you guys know I obsess, I want to do a good job. Okay? Thank you. Suneet at resideplatform.com. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll email you out all this stuff. And I'll see you in the audience on November 21st with John, okay? See you guys.